at the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game. 5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnop.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a new river thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as a valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big dog sports talk, lighten up the dark.
Hey, good morning.
He's got the scoop.
How's everybody doing here on
Calling plays like a coach.
I don't know what kind of a it is. It looks like cold rain.
The stories unfold.
We all know that it looks like all the schools are
Worth its weight in gold.
2 hours late. What did we get? Did we get ice? Good morning. I guess so. Steven says good icy morning.
The games begin.
None here at the Family Fencing Reiner Studio. How's everybody doing? Hit us up on the McClellan Chiropractic chat room or the Professional Door Incorporated text line at 391-0788. On the lawn of the UVA, the VPI's drill field, and now the Hammock Dunes and Palm Coast, DST is live and online. Good morning, Morris. So just on elevated porch and trees, huh? Yet schools are 2 hours late all over the place, apparently. Wow. Yes, sir. All right. So, when you grow up and you always hear your dad talk about how things were when they were growing up, and you would roll your eyes and you would go, okay, it's a different time, Dad. Especially when bad weather came, winter weather came regarding schools. The stories of trudging through the snow, having to walk through snow, to climb the hills, to get to class. And you would roll your eyes. Well, as you get older, you realize that you understand why your dad did that, because I feel that way now. So here in Reiner, right now, I walked around here on my parking area. And usually when you see ice, when ice forms, it will form on your vehicle fairly quickly when it's been sitting overnight because it's cold. So I reached out and, I felt rain, felt some cold rain, felt the wind chill. Top of the trash cans are usually a good spot as well for ice to accumulate. There's none there. And then I look down and see that all the schools are 2 hours late. And that's fine because there might be areas that had some ice. Look, that's fine. But here I go back into my dad mode. I can remember vividly. And anyone remember your high school days up at Pulaski County High School? The area that's covered by the canopy that connected the lunchroom to where the buses pulled up, the main parking lot there. We called it the smokers area. That's right, Stephen. There's a lot of hot air in Reiner from 6 to 8:30. Good morning, Opal. And I remember we would be walking in between classes or having lunch. We'd walk out, and there were a couple academic buildings on the other side, and you'd be walking, and you look, and you'd see the snow piling up. And I remember me and my friends going out, and we'd stick our fingers in the snow and say, hey, how deep is it? Nah, it's only 2 or 3 inches. They're not going to close us today. They're not going to send us home. And now, because of some cold rain, everybody's delayed. Here's more. So I remember growing up on a Newport farm, colder than a witch's teat on Halloween night and feeding cattle. Have fun. Yeah, absolutely. Every morning. Growing up on the farm, for me, every morning. Snow would drift up to the fence post, walk half a mile to meet the bus. God help me through it. Exactly. And that's what I feel like this morning as I ran my fingers across the Jeep going, it's rain. It's rain. You think that's next, by the way? Do you think that when it just rains, they're just going to let everybody out of school? Well, sorry, it's raining. Just say we didn't have the luxury of getting out because of a cold rain. But I will say this, Balboa Creed's out in it. He's doing his thing, so we'll keep an eye on that. I don't know how long that'll last. Well, it has happened, and color me surprised. Bob Chesney is the new head football coach at UCLA, and it had been kind of rumored, and there'd been a lot of scuttlebutt, and I kind of knew it was going on for the last couple of weeks when we had Matt Rohn on. No, I didn't want to ask him that question. I think he and I both knew where that situation was. And the JMU head coach has a 5-year deal to be the new head coach at UCLA. And he's going to be allowed. Look at this. Look at the difference, by the way. He gets to coach the team in the Sun Belt Championship. If they're fortunate enough to make the playoff, he'll be coaching them there. And I wish him well. I think he is a terrific football coach. If you look at all the places he's gone and rebuilt, it's like he's 85 games over 500. He's exactly the kind of coach that a program like UCLA needs. And I would love to be able to talk to him and just say, look, I understand the whole Big Ten connection has to be a major attraction for him. Because if UCLA were still in the Pac-12, I don't believe there was any chance he would even consider. But the fact they're in the Big Ten makes me think that had to be the turning point, although he's still going to be living and coaching in the same area. I don't know what kind of West Coast ties he has. Recruiting, though, has changed so much because it's mostly about money. UCLA is going to have $30 to $35 million in NIL. That was something that had to be very attractive for him. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what Penn State's going to do, Paul. Yeah, that whole thing, rumors about the BYU coach. Apparently he blew them away when they had a conversation last week, like floored them. I mean, he's been successful. But imagine going from a Mormon community to a blue blood. I don't know. But Chesney to UCLA, Paul, is the one to me that, I mean, I knew he was going to be a Power 4 coach. I had hoped it would be in Blacksburg. But he may have looked at it two ways, right? Todd Grantham brought up yesterday he could set out, be the number one pick, so to speak, next year because, you know, JMU's in place to have another big year. Or he could take an opportunity, and haven't seen any numbers yet about what he's going to be making, but you think about he's going to have life-changing money from what he was making at James Madison. And I would hope that during these conversations that apparently been going on for quite a while, we'll get some clarity. Matt Roan's going to join us again December the 16th, and we'll get some clarity about this whole process. And by then they'll have their new head coach well in place. I would hope that he gets questions answered that I know I would have about the UCLA job that has not been committed at all to trying to be a big-time football program even after they've moved into the Big Ten. It's been a very strange evolution in a negative light for UCLA. Yeah, exactly, Paul. Yeah, right. Then you would just go, okay, if Chesney would be the Penn State coach and BYU's guy would go to UCLA, then you'd go, okay, yeah, both of those make sense. Opal says, I remember when our bus drivers would have to put the chains on the tires. Yep. If the snow was bad, they couldn't get up your hill to pick us up. You had to walk down the hill. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Chesney to UCLA. And he's going to one of the two power leagues that control everything. I get it. I understand all that. Financially, maybe it's somewhere he's wanted to live. See, again, we don't know. It's easy for us to project how we view it. And it's fine for us to have opinions, but we can't dictate what other people choose to do with their lives. And he's worked his tail off. He's worked his tail off at every stop. He's respected every stop. He's put work in. He's never put himself above the programs that he's been at. And now he's earned himself a power opportunity. So congratulations to him. I just hope it works out for him. Because the risk you run is, you know, Todd talked about it yesterday, right? The risk you run is if you go out there now for a couple years and you don't revitalize it and it still fails, then all of a sudden your reputation, rightfully or wrongly, is going to fall back down. And I think that's the troubling part. But it's a massive challenge. That administration above athletics has not paid any attention to football. Their priorities are totally out of whack in terms of trying to make that football program anything remotely competitive in that league. But maybe he got some assurances and things that were written down that he needed. So I don't know. No, he won't have to deal with Ron Rivera. He won't have to deal with Ron Rivera, but so there you have it. UCLA has their new coach, and kudos to them. They backed into one of the best coaching hires of this whole cycle. And I know all Tech fans are so giddy over James Franklin, and we already see what he's doing in recruiting. He got a bunch more guys yesterday. He's really hitting the offensive line, which we knew was going to be a big push, him turning the roster over. But I still would have loved to have seen Bob Chesney and Matt Roan come to Blacksburg as a duo. But you know what? I'm sitting here and I'm having this conversation, and I remember back on the radio show 2 and a half years ago, when Curt Cignetti took the Indiana job, another job in the a downtrodden program in the Big Ten that may have been the worst program in the Big Ten. And I remember the same conversation circling that whole thing. Why in the world would Curt Cignetti go to Indiana? They have nothing. They have no recruiting base. They have no facilities. They haven't won in 70 years. Why would he go to Indiana? And it would be silly to project that Bob Chesney is going to be the second James Madison former coach to go into that league and have surprising, unprecedented success. But look where Indiana is now. Curt Cignetti has ruined it for all these other coaches with the success that he's had in Bloomington, right? This is why you're seeing, I think, a lot of pressure be applied. They're watching what he did there. 2 years at Indiana. In 2 years, he's in the tournament to play for a national championship. And I never saw any of that coming. And now he's elevated himself, arguably, as the best coach in the country. Now, it'd be, again, silly to think that Chesney's going to do that at UCLA, because I know one thing Cignetti had going for him in Bloomington. They were 100% dedicated to getting football up to snuff in that league. They got tired of being dormant. They had a lot of people that were donating saying, we're sick of this. Indiana can be a good football program. And here he is, 23-2. It might be the most amazing modern coaching job. Y'all can help me. Is it the most amazing collegiate coaching job turnaround that we've seen in the modern era? What Chesney's done in Indiana? I mean, you have to sit and think about it. For it to be that successful at a national championship level that quickly, is that the biggest one that we've seen? And Chesney hopes to replicate some of that success at UCLA. Good luck. I know a few people out there. I know a couple of the guys that run the Bruin Report online. Tracy Pearson and David Woods, good guys that I've gotten to know over the years. I met them both when UCLA played down at UVA several years ago. And the way things have deteriorated around that program is unprecedented. UCLA has got a national championship in its history. They're 17 bowl wins, one of the winningest programs out west in the history of college football. They've always been right there in LA with all these natural benefits. They had Terry Donahue, who nobody appreciated. Then they had Jim Mora. He just took the Colorado State job after rebuilding UConn. They ran him out of town. They haven't hired a good coach since. Thought they had it solved with Chip Kelly, who was an absolute ass clown. And now they bring in Bob Chesney, who on paper is way too good of a coach. UCLA doesn't deserve him, but they got him. And I have to tip my hat. He gives me a hard time now because he watches some of the show, and he loves it when I just call him Big Ten guy. But he maintained all along that was what he was hearing several weeks ago. And I was like, oh, come on, man. It's not going to happen. And sure enough, there it is. I thought he handled the presser yesterday very well. That's the way you handle it. He didn't get up there and lie. He just said, look, I appreciate your question. Things that have been decided about the future, my future, can be discussed after the Sun Belt Championship game. Right now, it's about getting my team ready to play because we still have playoff aspirations. It's about this team and these guys. I like the way he handled it. He wasn't arrogant about it. He didn't go through some silly denial that a lot of coaches do. quickly turned it to the attention of his team now. And kudos to Tater, Matt Roan. Of course, he's a class act. Of course, look at the difference. He's going to let his coach out their season. What did he say last week? I mean, we had him on the program last week, and what did Matty say? He said, if I were any power for AD, I certainly be calling me. Why wouldn't you call me and ask about Bob Chesney, knowing that he was gone last week? He's generally excited, by the way, for him. He's thrilled for the family. They've gotten very close. There's no animosity. As a matter of fact, they're pretty close to having their new head coach in place. He's been working for a while, and that's how good that guy is. So they'll have an announcement soon at James Madison for Chesney's replacement. He's not panicking. People are thinking, oh, what's JMU going to do? He's been working on this a while. JMU is an extremely attractive job. Hang on just a second. I've got a water-saturated Balboa Creed wanting back in. Hang on. Yeah, you're not smart. You're just not smart. You're just not smart. You know, come in and meow all you want. You're not smart. So anyway, hit me up on that, whatever is on your mind. But Bob Chesney is the new UCLA coach. Hey, Christy, good morning. Yeah, Paul, they did. They promoted their defensive coordinator very quickly. Good to see everybody yesterday in the aftermath of the Kiffin nonsense, just absolutely roasting ESPN with the way they handled it all. And how all those guys on the game day set, like Nick Saban, all have Jimmy Sexton as an agent, and they're sitting there like, I think that entire crew has Sexton as an agent, and they're sitting there doing Sexton's work for him. Worldwide leader. I am not, Christy, not police. Thank you, though. So, yeah. So there it is. I need to see that SEC Shorts SWV. People sent it to me, and I haven't looked at it. But, boy, ESPN got absolutely just torched. And they deserve every bit of it. It's an absolute joke what they are. Us country boys and custom farming knew everyone. Robert Kissinger, as bus driver, would have had us boys get the chains out from the back and put it on. Yeah, hey, guys, get the chains out, put them on. I mean, I just let Creed in because he's stubborn, right? I got to go out. It's my morning. I'm going to go out and hunt. No, you're not. Okay, I'm going to go. He comes back. He's sitting here. He's got water all over. And I felt again, there's no ice here. I can't speak for everywhere, but there's no ice here in Rhino, at least at my house. Now, I live on top of a big hill. I'm the apex of the neighborhood. So maybe it's different, but you would think here at the higher elevation, I would be a little more apt, right? So good luck, Bob Chesney. Good luck. Is that Montana, Robert? Good morning. Wow. Is that Bridger, Montana? Bridger? I don't want to say it wrong. I've been in your glorious state a couple of times. Man, oh, man. Tell you what. You could do worse than to end up finding some property and a house out there now. Living out in the wilderness, Montana. Radford University basketball, many years ago when Ron Bradley was the coach, we played in the Montana State Bobcats tournament. Well, welcome, Robert. Welcome to the program. Please like and subscribe. Share the channel. I'm sure it is good hunting. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. out in Montana. You know, that would be hey, where are you living now? Montana. Yeah, so don't contact me again. Yeah, we're in Montana. Yeah. Quiet. Rick, you're not going to UCLA to be closer to Selma, are you? Well, maybe. I might be going with Chesney. We live on top of a mountain. Hey, there you go. There's no better way. My dad told me many years ago. Just things that you remember. He said, when you get your house, try to either build it or buy one that's on elevation. We lived on a house that was up on a hill at the farm because the water runs down the hill. And he used to always have a big, I wouldn't say fear, but concern about flooding and things like that. So he would say, and you probably know, Robert, right? So the drainage, we never have to worry about. Everything just runs right down the hill, the bottom, or away from your home. I didn't understand any of it at the time, but now I get it. Now I completely get it. He was right. Dad was right. 100%. 100%. But I hope he does well, man. I hope Bob Chesney has a lot of success, and we'll see, exactly what happens with that program. Yeah, I could live with Selma in Montana. Robert, if I brought Selma Hayek out to Montana, would I be welcome? She's the official girl of the program, by the way, even though she has no idea. Good morning, Mr. Lester. How are you? So already after yesterday, Tech, by the way, because folks have asked on our Professional Door Incorporated text line, 4 offensive linemen, the running back Mickens, the tight end Peterson, spelled really cool, by the way, Peter, Sohn. Love that. The Hoon kid, which we told you yesterday, was common sense. But look, I know the kid wants to do his own thing. That was no drama that he was going to pick Tech because Tech was never in his picture. Oh, by the way, I'm announcing on Monday, Tech or Penn State. Gee, So they got him, and hopefully he'll develop into the quarterback. I think they're still going to have to get one out of the portal to be the guy next year. The linebacker, Lama, they've got star names beside them, but I don't care about stars. I just want to see what they can do when they get here. All right, Robert. Good stuff. Derek, I don't think there's any question. It could be argued that the UCLA job could be a bigger challenge than Indiana. 100%. Does Neuheisel stay around? Probably not, but he's done a nice job, right? Jerry Neuheisel? I think he did a nice job with that. I mean, I know one thing. His play calling got helped lead to James Franklin getting canned in Happy Valley. It feels like Lincoln Riley's looking to get out of USC. It does. It does. He does. And we'll see how these players develop, right? We'll see how it happens here. These are all kids. Not all. Most of them have been guys, again, as Todd so eloquently put it yesterday, that had NIL deals as recruits for Franklin at Penn State. So naturally, they're going to follow him to Tech. And we talked about this after the hire. He's going to flip the talent level of the roster very quickly. People falling in love with these star rankings. I just don't. You're smarter than that, audience. So Hune is the guy, the quarterback. But we should start getting announcements, I would think. Now I'm getting all these texts on the text line about me and Selma in Montana. That's a good one. We're standing on top of the mountain there, Wayne, she and I. Yeah, tougher because the scenery is a little more distracting. Yeah. Been on UCLA's campus about 7 or 8 times. When I went out to went out to San Diego to watch the Padres, being a UCLA guy, I would always go and check out Westwood. Beautiful, just beautiful. And yeah, it's a very pleasant visual experience in Westwood. But Derek, you're 100% right about the UCLA. It's going to be a bigger challenge in Indiana, just because Indiana was dedicated to football. Martin Jarmond, the director of athletics at UCLA, is close to not having a job. So they had to do something. And Bob Chesney might save a lot of people out there. But that's your update on everybody that was grabbed so far by James Franklin. There'll be more. There'll probably be more today. David and Stevie and Mikey all asked me on the text line, yes, all these players are being paid. It's just that's the way it is. I mean, yeah, they're not just coming to Tech anymore. They're not going anywhere out of high school without getting something. So that's where we are. That's why now you're hearing about schools bragging about what they have dedicated for NIL. UCLA had a statement they've raised $30 million plus. And Bob Chesney is going to have to build a lot through the portal. I get the idea that a lot of people are dissing the whole building through the portal thing. We're in the early stages of all this with the NIL and free agency, because that's what it is. It's free agency. And I think the programs who do it right, you're going to have to supplement. I mean, you're going to criticize James Franklin and the portal guys he brings. Technically, all these guys that he's bringing from Penn State are coming from the portal, right? You build your roster any way you need to build your roster now. The finances have changed. You're not going to be able to do it through all high school recruiting. And it depends on the time frame you have as a head coach. James Franklin is coming into a disastrous program in Blacksburg right now. He's going to have plenty of hand, like George Costanza used to say, plenty of leverage to build it the way he needs to build it. Some places don't have that, which is I'm surprised at all the criticism that Tony Elliott gets for the way he put the roster together this year at UVA. The folks who have criticized how Tony Elliott's put together the roster, raise your hand if you would like Virginia Tech being one game away from the national playoff. If they would have put their roster together the same way, would you be trying to put an asterisk beside it? And then everybody's assuming that if you bring in a bunch of high school kids, they're going to develop. Do you not think that these high school kids can also get frustrated and realize when they get to a place that it's not for them and they can jump back in the portal? That's what's happened here with the guys that Franklin's bringing in. Virginia's a game away from the national playoff. Do you think anybody in Charlottesville gives a damn that the majority of those starters came from the portal? What am I missing here? Everybody's thinking, well, he can't maintain that. Why not? If they had those kind of financial advantages going into the season, it's going to be even more advanced now. You're going to have more donations. Let's talk about this from the same perspective as Tech hiring James Franklin. Immediately, more donations, excitement around the program, more money going to come in, right? Revenue. We talked about that. And people have been giving. People are excited. Well, what do you think happens when a program like Virginia, who has a lot, and I mean a lot of very wealthy alumni, see this program with potentially playing in the national tournament? Do you not think that's going to have an influence on the amount of money they're able to raise? From my front porch to the south, you can see Cody, Wyoming in the northwest. And you can see the Red Lodge, Montana. Oh, Robert, you're killing me. So from your front porch in Montana, you can see Wyoming. Oh, my Lord. All right, that settles it. The BDST bash is going to be at Robert's house in Montana. We'll just all fly out there. We'll get a charter. Wow. Now, Robert, this is serious. I'm not making fun. I'm a huge Bigfoot enthusiast. Oh, this is going to be cool. All right. Hurry up, he says. All right, Robert, answer me this question. And this is not me making light, because everybody here on this show knows we had, God rest his soul, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, who just passed away, who worked at Idaho State, was on the show, I think 3 times when we had the radio show. I was working on getting him on the new format. He and I exchanged emails. He disappeared, and then 2 weeks ago, he's done. God rest his soul. Have you had any, or what's the mindset up there around Bigfoot sightings? I'm serious. I'd like to know. Because Wayne from Ohio and I, at some point, are going to go on an expedition in the Northwest, and we're going to go. We're not going to do it around here. We're going to do it right. Right? Yeah, TP, if UVA wins, they'll get in the playoff. If Duke wins, we're going to have a total different conversation of what that could mean to the ACC. Morris says, I'm jealous. Can't Palm Coast be first? How about this, Morris? How about we come down to Palm Coast on the charter, the BDST charter, and then we all go from the Palm Coast, you and your lovely wife included, and then we go out to Robert's place in Montana. Let's just say we designate a month. It's pretty cool, man. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Yes, I am inviting everybody up to Robert's place to go hunting for Bigfoot. Correct. But yeah, TP, UVA would make the playoff. That's kind of what they've been talking about because of where they are now in the ranking. But Duke, I don't know. Marvin, Miami, join us here in just a little bit. Oh, I got to send her the invite. Hang on. I got to send Marva's going to be mad. Let me send Marva her invite here. And we get to see Marva's lovely face. Talk to her about Thanksgiving. That's so cool. I'm just imagining what Robert's got when he looks out his window every morning. This is Montana State's campus is beautiful, by the way. The Bobcats. Beautiful. Very nice people there. I remember that. That same year, we went to my very first trip at Radford was playing in Alaska. Went to Alaska and Montana in the very first year. I was the voice of the Highlanders. Robert says, bring warm clothes. Yeah, we'll have to. So Morris will be dressing down in shorts and bathing suits, and then we'll have to bundle up. Can you get warm clothes in Florida? I don't know the answer. Hokey Rock says UVA will get slaughtered in the playoff. They are an average team. Salty. It has gotten lucky. I don't think you're 10 wins in an average team. No, they aren't a great team. 100%, they're not a great team. But they're a very good defensive team, and they run the football. And they have a quarterback who can make plays. Now, I, too, believe that he doesn't care. He just wants a seat on the charter. Okay. You know, we could get our warm clothes out there in Montana. God's country indeed, Robert. Kudos, my friend. Robert, we're going to come out and we're going to go to the best steak place in the area. You pick. We're all going to dine, and then we're going on a Bigfoot expedition. Or at least me and Wayne will. Totally going to happen. But UVA's got to beat Duke first, right? And then to TP's point, if that doesn't happen and Duke wins, then all bets are off about the ACC. And, man, that'll be a horrible, horrible thing for them to try to bounce back from. Thanks to Family Fencing. By the way, Louise Baker, I think, is stopping by today at 7:30 to give away basketball tickets before Burnop. I'm pretty sure that's happening. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios here in Reiner. 540-200-8294. You know, the weather today, cold rain, they'd be out there putting your fence up. Jason and the crew, they don't care. Appreciate it and worse than that. McClellan Chiropractic Clinic, sponsor of our chat room, which is blowing up as it always does. Thanks to Mark Hunley off of Peppers Ferry Road. The Ready Set Fund, ReadySetFund.com with Bob Christ. If you have a school team or anybody else who needs to raise some money, they've got text messages to send. They have a program. They help Floyd County girls, $4,000. So go out there and use them. ReadySetFund.com. Oh, Robert says his barbecue will feed us. Hey, that's perfectly fine. No, ignore Wayne. I don't. No, there's no vegetables. And no, we're not going to an organic grocery store. And Derek, you're all over it. He got the quarterback position right. He's the straw that stirs the drink. Chandler Morris is an exceptional college quarterback, and he fit everything that he needed to help bring it all together with all those new guys. Yeah, he did. He did. And that's what you have to hit on. And that's what James Franklin will have to hit on in the portal for his first quarterback. And we have one 80 miles away. See, they put all that. There you go, Wayne. Sorry, Wayne. If you're going to go on the organic grocery store shopping spree, well, you're going to have to drive 80 miles, my friend. We get out there to Robert's house, Montana, and Wayne's immediately in the car. Oh, got to hit the organic store. Then we don't see him again. Marva's trying to join us here. Her computer died. She'll be with us shortly. No, he doesn't need a Panera. No, he does not. It's okay, Marva. Let me tell her no worries. She's texting me frantically now. Her computer died. You know, she's down there in 65 degrees, no cold rain / ice, and her computer died. Thanks to Travis Williams, Professional Incorporated Residential Commercial Garage Doors. Family owned and operated, 38 years in business. They have a full fleet now of workers. He continues to grow that business. Thanks, Travis, sponsoring our text line. He's best friends with Matt Rohn. He's known even before me about Bob Chesney to UCLA. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner, BDST on YouTube. Thanks, Larry Ramsey. I've been with them for 35 years. Great customer service. Sometimes I just go in there just to talk to the gals down in Radford. They're just wonderful, wonderful. Brad DiNardo to Larry Ramsey. Yeah, that's big time. BDST Fan Question of the Week brought to you by the attorney Ryan Pry. Who wins the ACC championship game? 701 West Main Street. He specializes in trust and estate planning. Will it be UVA or Duke? Just let me know your pick. Who's going to win on Saturday? Little River Heating and Air, 295 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. Do not let your units go, your heat units go, without being serviced, tested, replaced. Charles is the best in the business. They keep costs down. Great communication. One of the best experiences I've had with a contractor. Just give them a call. Don't waste your time anywhere else. And thanks to Jonathan Sweet, Tim Miller, we're presented each and every day proudly by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. They made some national news. They're now part of the drag racing strip tour. Just continues to roll along for those guys, man. Go get your next car at Harvey's Gym in Radford. Service department dealt with them yesterday. My son's car. Michelle is just unbelievably wonderful at her job. NRV Super Bowl's been around for 25 years. They're going to have all sorts of things happening in December. And if we can't make it out to Roberts, we should do the BDST Bass at the NRV Super Bowl. And James Lawson, located 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Give him a call, 540-381-8011. Windows, plumbing supplies, installation. They've been around for almost 30 years. And thanks to everything that everybody does at the Montgomery County Chamber, Steve, Bufato, and all those folks. Yeah, I've got Robert saying, Robert, we're a very rural community here, where we are too. Did you see how immediately, Wayne, Robert laughed at the Panera comment? Just saying. Joining us now on the program. Oh, let me fix her here. There she is. What happened to your computer? It's like 70 degrees. You should never have any mechanical issues.
Well, okay. So my daughter has got to the point now where she needs to use a computer for some of her work.
Are you throwing the kids under the bus? You're throwing your daughter under the bus?
No, I have to explain. No, she was using it yesterday for some schoolwork. And it died on her, but she was done, so it was fine. And I just forgot. So this morning when I go to turn it on, I'm like, uh-oh. And then I had to go find the charger. It was a whole thing, but it's okay. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine? Okay.
Yes, good. Everything's fine now.
Well, it didn't turn out fine for your football team.
No. Rick, this was one of the most embarrassing.
What was the final score? What was the final score?
42-19.
Woo!
Pretty embarrassing.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like they have a 2-quarterback system at NC State. Okay. They do. Yeah. They have a guy who comes in and he pretty much just runs the ball. Will Wilson, and he scored 4 touchdowns.
And you know what he's going to do when he comes in the game.
You know? Like, you should have known before you went out on the field because, of course, you've been watching tape on NC State.
Right.
But after he scored the first one, you should have known. If you didn't know after that, you should have known after he scored the second one. Surely after he scored the third, you would have been prepared. But no, he scored 4 times on the heels, and it was pretty bad. Like, Gio Lopez got knocked out in the third quarter with an injury. Yeah. And then Max Johnson came in and he was able to move the ball okay, but he didn't score. They even brought the third stringer in late. He scored Carolina's last touchdown because I guess he just wanted to give him some reps in a game. And yeah, that's the kind of day it was. It was bad all around. And of course, NC State is showing no mercy on the heels, and I don't expect them to. No. I do not expect them to. But yeah, it was ugly. It was so bad. But now,
now what?
The season is
can't wait for next year.
So Carolina can reset. We'll see what happens. A lot of people have the concerns I do about Gio Lopez, and he could be back next year. He's a sophomore. He could be back.
Oh, he'll be back. Well, maybe.
Well, some other team wants to snap him up. He's available, I think, on the transfer portal. He hasn't joined it, but he could. So that is over. Yeah. And yeah. I don't really even know what to say about that. It's, we talked last week about how the Heels had been making some gains. They had been looking better.
They had.
And just took a big step back. I just don't, looking at that score, I don't feel like, is NC State really that much better? I don't know. But it was very sad.
You saved Dave Doran's job.
Oh, yeah. He says that every year. It's like,
he's back. They announced he's coming back.
He says that every year. It's like, I keep beating Carolina. Yeah.
He does.
He does.
Yeah, well, there's no momentum around Bill Belichick now. It's going to be, I don't know what you do. He turned the roster over as best he could. He never seen, I don't know what they're going to do. Is this Jordan? I think the best thing that can happen to your programs is there's some kind of announcement that they're no longer together. And then maybe you start to get a football Bill Belichick back, whatever we've got now. Like Paul just said strawberries. I think he was more worried about their vacation than he was coaching the football. It's just this whole thing is just the most. I don't think enough people talk about how just crazy this whole scenario is.
It's very crazy. It's very weird. And the whole thing is, I know it would be weird for them to be dating under any scenario. But the thing is,
right?
Yes. If they were dating and we didn't have to hear about it all the time, it would still be weird, but it wouldn't be top of mind for people. Like, I just don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see, like, it's crazy to me that TMZ is paying attention to what he's doing and taking pictures of them. It's crazy, right? I just don't want to hear about it.
No.
Keep it at home. Okay. Just keep it at home. And then I don't think about it or see it. Rick,
They'll never top the images when he was at the cheerleading competition with a look on her face and him sitting there. Oh my Lord!
Well, to me, those were really funny. Like, I just thought those were hilarious. You
can't make it up. They were. It's like a comedy skit.
Yeah. I mean, but the things that I can't get over, the one was when Carolina played UCF and they had that shot of them on the beach.
Yeah.
And I know you found that one online, and I'm sure you could find it again.
I think I actually showed it here on the show. I think I had it. Yeah, I did.
Doing like a gymnastics or cheerleading move.
Yeah, she was doing like
He's like on the ground or on the beach laying down. He's got his feet up, and she's like on his feet, and they're doing some kind of weird formation. Like I said, it looked like a cheerlead. Maybe she was practicing for a cheerleading move. I don't know. But see, I should never know about that. No. You know? If they want to do that at home, that's fine. I just don't want to know.
Wayne just sent it to me. I won't have time. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Yeah, you don't have to share. Are you going to share that with everyone again? Nobody wants to see that, Rick.
That's Bill on the bottom. Thanks, Wayne. There she is. Yeah.
Nobody wants to see it. Wow. Nobody.
No.
So that's the type of thing. That is a distraction.
Thanks,
I mean,
Wayne.
Just the fact that they were dating and we didn't have to see it. Whatever.
Yeah, it is grandpa creepy.
So, but I still feel like he's, people have talked about his quick handshakes after the games, and he's given these very quick answers to reporters. People shouldn't be surprised. He did the same thing with the Patriots. He's just kind of a crotchety guy. But the thing is, I'm hoping that personality, that hating to lose, is going to come into play, and they're going to figure out something in the offseason, and Carolina will be much better. Like, I want to see him go on a revenge tour next season. That's what I'm hoping for. And I have to hope for that because, there's no bowl to think about. So that means he has plenty of time to focus. Like, where are the holes here? What do I need to improve?
You know what the good news is, though?
Yes.
And this is serious. Okay, your AD, Bubba Cunningham, had nothing to do with this. He did not want Bill Belichick. He wanted John Sumrall.
Mm-hmm.
John Sumrall, by the way, got to talk about that later. He's the new Florida head coach.
Yeah.
Arguably the best hire of the cycle. Anyway, so the fact that boosters did this, the money people, and you know how impatient they get?
Yeah.
If this doesn't work next year, they're going to pull the plug on their own project, I would think. Don't you think? He's probably got, Bill Belichick, he's going to be 74. They won't. The money people who paid for this aren't going to just keep.
Yeah, they're going to say this is a failed experiment. Let's move on.
Correct.
But I do think, he's going to get another shot at it next season. And I mean, I have to believe Carolina's going to be better. It's hard to imagine how they could be worse, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine.
Well, never know. Never know.
I Rick, we've got to hope because I can't keep going through this. Like, I didn't even want to watch that whole game, but I knew I watched it because I knew I was going to come on here and I had to talk about it, but I didn't want to. I wanted to turn it off. It was that bad, and it just kept getting worse, and I kept hoping there'd be some kind of bright light. Even when Max Johnson came in, because he has had some good series before when he had to step in. I was hoping he would be able to do something, but he couldn't. And it was just ugly, Rick.
It was ugly.
I mean, it was ugly. The 42-19 is an ugly score, but honestly, it was uglier than that. It really was.
Well, they showed up and played really hard against, Duke, let that one get away, and then they had nothing the next week. Nothing.
Yeah. I think they were just overwhelmed, and then playing on the road against a rival who, they hate you and they view beating you as like, that's their big bowl. Who knows, where they're going to go, but that is the big game for their fan base. And, they let them hear it, and it was bad.
You want to talk some hoops? Hey, you got Kentucky tonight.
Yeah,
I do
I'm
like
excited.
the ACC SEC challenge. I do think that's really good. That's a fun. That's a fun challenge. Tech's got South Carolina. A game they should win. We played South Carolina, and I don't think
it makes
they're all
you, have conference unity. I pull for every ACC team to win in this thing except Duke. My ideal situation would be for every ACC team to win and to dominate except for Duke. That would be lovely for me, because then your conference wins and they're embarrassed. But
and Carolina, then they're the only one that didn't win.
Yeah, that would be so funny to me. That has never happened, but it is my dream. And Carolina had a tough game on Thursday playing on Thanksgiving, which was already tough. It was tough for me personally because we had a household divided, because it was the same time as the Cowboys-Chiefs game.
Oh,
that split up our family. Yeah, it split us up. I'm sorry. I have to go watch the Heels. You watch the Cowboys. And then Carolina lost the first game of the year. Yeah. But we just split up. I mean, it's not like we only have one TV. We split up. And it was so painful for me. I mean, Carolina lost first game of the year. Just in the first half, things were going well. I mean, Carolina had this big lead. Caleb Wilson was being Caleb Wilson. And then he got into foul trouble. Henry Vaystar got into foul trouble. Those are Carolina's two best players this year. And they had to sit for a significant amount of time there in the first half, sort of late in the first half. But still, Carolina got into halftime only 5 points down. So I'm not worried about this thing. But I don't know what happened in the second half. It's like just things were not going Carolina's way. Michigan State was just scoring at will. I mean, it was guys who don't even normally score that much were just scoring a lot. And then Carolina went incredibly cold, especially from three, and sort of forgot what they were doing in the first half so well, that sort of inside-outside game. Forgot that completely and was just chucking up threes that weren't going in. And it was so bad. And so the final on that one was ugly.
Your hubby's happy, though.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to bounce back from this and do well at Kentucky, even though that game's going to be tough because it's on the road. But I feel like the two teams are very evenly matched. And I feel like, Carolina star freshman Caleb Wilson, he very upset about the loss. Like, you could tell he's very upset about the loss and hated the way he played. Because even though he did well by most people's standards, by his standards, I'm sure he didn't think he did. And so I expect Carolina to come out hot tonight and do well. Again, these teams very evenly matched. Like Carolina, I believe, is ranked 16th. Kentucky's ranked 18th. So very, very close.
You got to get Trimble back.
It's a good game.
Once you get Trimble back, he'll be back. Hopefully, if he's back in time for conference. But boy, that's the heart and soul of your team.
Yeah, needed him on defense. Also needed just that senior leadership to talk everybody like, hey guys, this is okay. We can get through this. It's all right. But yeah, miss him. I've heard that he is starting to do some work in practice, but he's still not game ready. Obviously, I mean, he still has a cast on his arm, but he's doing what he can in practice, and that's encouraging. I mean, still what we're hearing is though it's going to be sometime later this month, and I'm hoping that it's in time for that first conference game. Carolina plays Florida State.
Maybe Bill and Jordan can show him how to do calisthenics. They can go on the beach together and they can,
Please don't. The basketball team does not want any of that drama. Can you imagine? They're going to show Bill and Jordan in the stands because, Roy still attends a good number of games and they always show him and his lovely wife, Wanda, in the stands. And it's fine. Everybody's happy. It's just a Carolina thing. It's good to see him there. But we don't need to see Bill and Jordan. I'm sure they'll probably go at least to one game because the big programs always support each other. They always try to have good crossover and support. But I just hope it's, maybe they come to one game and it's very quiet. Like we don't need the Bill and Jordan show. Let them, I don't know, where do people go now? Go to Cancun or something. Enjoy some warm weather away from Chapel Hill for a little bit.
Wayne says Hubert just needs a young girlfriend, and then maybe things will
Oh
turn
my
around for him,
gosh.
just like that.
No, 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 no. You know, Hubert is married. He's married a long time.
Is
Actually,
he?
a woman he met at UNC.
Oh.
You know, his college sweetheart. Yeah, he's been married a very long time. He seems to be very happy. I don't even know his wife's name, and that's no disrespect, but it's just like, you know, she's not hanging around the program that I know. I mean, it's fine, right? I don't need to know
No.
the significant others of the coaches. I don't.
How was Thanksgiving? How'd the dinner go?
Thanksgiving was very,
Yeah, come
very
on.
good. Oh my goodness. Like, okay, so my youngest is just turned 8. He just turned 8 the day after Thanksgiving. And he was just piling on, like his plate was so high. I'm like, oh my goodness, I heard this happen in the teenage years.
No, he's
Why
getting
is
there.
he eating so much at 8?
Well, he wants to be big, like his mom. You know, what are you, like 6'2"?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he's looking at you.
Almost, like practically. I'm not quite 6'2".
Not quite 6'2". So, and then, you know, he's like, hey, I got to get it going here. So he's looking for that big,
he's constantly wanting to, you know, he wants Thanksgiving leftovers, which just finished up. I think the only thing we have left over from Thanksgiving, and this tells you about our household, I think there's some green beans left that
Thank you. See, exactly. Unnecessary garment. Nobody needs
I
them.
felt like we needed them though. I felt
No.
like we needed them. And I say, if you cook those string beans, because I'm from North Carolina, you know, you're supposed to cook those in pork. And I forgot to get any pork to cook them in. And because that seasons them and they taste much better. I forgot.
Yeah, because meat makes everything better. Correct.
It's Thanksgiving and I'm like, oh, I don't have any. So like fried up some bacon and then I cooked the beans in the bacon fat, which is supposed to help, but it's not the same thing as letting them simmer for a long time. And I couldn't do that. So I understand that they're still there, but he did eat them, but they're just the only thing I think that's remaining. Is I'm probably going to throw them out tomorrow.
What kind of pie did you have?
Sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato pie. That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And my husband went out and bought a pecan pie. Okay. And I do say pecan. Again, I'm from North Carolina. And it wasn't very good, but it was a store bought and I don't mind him buying it at all, but it wasn't very good. And that's one of my favorite pies. It really is. It's a super sweet pie. I love it. But yeah. And he also bought it from I don't know if you have a store called Sprouts there in Southwest Virginia.
No, we don't have a Sprouts. No.
Yeah, Sprouts is like a little foo-foo store where they sell like supposedly healthier options.
We have Aldi, an Aldi chain here. Yeah.
Well, I think maybe that's why the pie wasn't very good. They probably did something to make it healthier, and it's not supposed to be healthy. Okay, it wasn't very good. I had one small piece of it, and I said I'm done with it. And so there's still some of that left. I think he is eating it. I don't think anybody else in the family is eating it.
I have never set foot into the Aldi here in Christiansburg.
Well, I hear good things about Aldi. Like it's discounted stuff. They sell like a lot of store brands.
Isn't it all like healthy?
I don't think they're healthy though. I just think they sell a lot of off brands, which makes the cost be lower.
Oh, okay.
Well,
maybe I should check it out.
A lot of people don't realize, even your other grocery stores, if you see like a store brand, a lot of times the big brands also make this stuff. But it's not quite the same, you know, maybe I don't know how they get the cost down, but it's because it doesn't have the name on it. So I've heard good things about Aldi. I would go check it out. Like we have them here, but we have so many grocery stores here. I haven't, our big store here is something called Publix, which I don't know if they're.
Oh yeah, I know what Publix is, but I see those on the road.
Yeah, they're nice. If you ever get a chance to go in, like they're known for their delis. They have and they also have good bakeries.
Yeah. We've had to hit Publix a lot on the road to get stuff for the team over the years. Yeah.
Good stuff.
What when you were younger, but people are at Prometheus. What sport did you play? You were pretty athletic, weren't you?
I played volleyball.
Volleyball, that's right. Well, that makes sense with your height.
Oh yeah. I was constantly, you know.
Were you an outside hitter?
What
did you do?
Was I? You know. I was mainly setting the ball, but you know, it's one of those things, Rick. When I played in middle school, I was invited to come and try out for the high school team, and you know, because like you said, I'm a pretty tall person, and when I went to high school, these girls were so just like they were towering over me, which is really weird because I was already so tall that I was just like, you know what? I think I'm just going to hang it up here. And so I actually did not play in high school. I probably could have sat on the bench. But yeah, they were tall. I saw these tall trees. And it was very intimidating. Very much so.
Well, that's what it is at Radford. We've got like 6'4" girls. You're right. It's just like, wow. Cool.
I mean, volleyball is big. It's one of those sports that if you're good, like you said, you have that team there at Radford, you can get as a girl, get a college scholarship. Pretty nice to play volleyball somewhere. Because there's a lot of, sports, obviously women's sports, the college level, but that's one of the ones where you can get a full ride to play volleyball. If you're premier player, like we think about softball and stuff, but a lot of those schools, the softball scholarships they give, they're not full rides. So volleyball is when you can get a full ride if you're a very good player. And so I was on that trajectory, Rick.
Okay.
But went to high school and I just decided to focus on my academics.
Things changed.
And I was in the band also. I played the flute.
I knew this. Yeah. I remember you were a musician. On top of everything else, all of your wonderful gifts, great news gal, great. And now you're just, you could join a band today if you want.
Oh yeah. Any band that's looking for someone to play the flute, I'm here. I mean, I used to take it out every once in a while just to make sure I could still play scales and things. And I remembered them, but I haven't taken it out in a while now, so I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, great stuff as always. Give my best to your family. Tell your hubby I said congratulations on his Cowboys. I guess when they're not playing the Broncos, they look pretty good. He's
very excited now. He's very excited. And just real quick, because I know where you're kind of going over, but when Carolina lost that game on Thanksgiving evening, I was hoping that the Cowboys would lose too, so we could both be sad.
Sure.
And then, of course, they had to go and beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And then I've been hearing about it, and I know they keep replaying the game like on NFL Network or something. Because every time I turn around, it's like, you're watching that again? What is that? What is happening? So yeah, he's very excited.
Just remind your husband that every time he gets too excited, that their worst loss of the year came to my Broncos.
Oh,
that's all. Just remind him.
I'm sure he remembers. Yeah, but he's on. He's moving on.
Yeah, you got to go to the next game. You don't dwell. You got to go to the next game.
Are the Cowboys going to make it to the Super Bowl? And I don't mean just fans. I saw that on the bottom on the TV screen the other day, and I was like, "What?
Really?
Yeah,
no, they're not."
Well, that's what I saw, and I was very shocked because I mean I hear it at home all the time, but I know that's just Cowboy fan deluded thinking.
Correct, deluded. Yes, correct. They haven't been to one since '94, so remind him of that. Remind him of that.
I do.
All right. Well, stay warm.
Oh, I will.
I know you will. I know you
probably
will.
Only into 70s today. I don't.
Ooh, wow.
It may be low 80s. I don't know. I haven't checked.
Is that like long sleeve weather, like a light?
No. I still have on short sleeves, and my son is still going to wear. My daughter already left for school in shorts, and my son's going to have shorts on too.
Yeah, your son's a man after my own heart. He refuses to wear any dress clothes whatsoever. My guy.
Well, a polo shirt is the most I can give him.
And then he doesn't like that, so I get it.
He doesn't. He takes it off immediately after whatever event I've made him wear it to. Yes.
Right. Well, all right. Give my best, everyone. You stay safe, and we'll see what happens tonight. Carolina and Kentucky.
Okay. Yeah. Go ACC. Everybody but Duke.
Everybody but Duke. There you go. All right. Be good. Take care, Marva.
You too. Bye-bye.
Marva and Miami. We love Marva. Marva's great. Great family. And I'm telling you, she has the two most beautiful children I think I've ever seen in one household. Every time she shows a picture, like, really? So Robert says they have elk pie, deer pie, and antelope pie. See, Robert, you go to Robert's house. What kind of meat will you want? Oh, what about sides? No. You didn't hear the question. What do you want me to fix? We're totally going to just pack up the crew. We're going to go out to Montana. Yeah, Marva's great. Oh, Roanoke's getting a Publix. You'll have to let me know once you get in there, Wayne. Wayne says, as a Browns fan, I moved on at preseason. Oh, by the way, Wayne, let me know when you receive your signed John Elway poster I sent you, by the way. Yeah, I sent you that. So Louise is going to be giving away tickets a little bit later. And Mike Burnop joins us. And then Brian Seigla is going to join us here momentarily from the Boundary Corner. And we're looking forward to that. Robert's a Raiders fan. Robert's a Raiders fan. Just sent it, Brian. Just sent. Yeah, I was a little late. Just sent the invite. There you go. There you go. You should get it now. Hopefully he'll get it now. That's right. Prometheus is a Raiders fan. I bet you they beat my Broncos on Sunday. Broncos always struggle since they moved to Vegas, especially. Because the Broncos, let's be honest. You are what your record says you are. And that was a good game the other night. They did score enough, but they're a very incomplete 10-win team. That's the best way to put it. Very good defense. Special teams are good kicker, but not a very good offensive football team. What's up, Rotten Potatoes? How are you? And Jason from Family Fencing. We know he's a Raiders fan. Broncos are the UVA of the NFL. Well, there might be something to that. There might be something to that. Could be something to that. Good defense. I don't have as much faith in Bo Nix as the UVA does in Chandler Morris. Yeah, Publix just made it to Virginia. You're right, Morris, because the Wayne said there's one in Roanoke. The Noke's going to have one here pretty soon. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we had to hit that. Sometimes we need snacks or water. And a Chad Hyatt, after athletic trainer, we'd hit a Publix wherever we were in the city or something. And I have heard great things about their deli. So, yeah. Was that a West Coast chain? Or no? That made it here? Were they in the South? Morris, you would know. You're smart about stuff like that. All right, so we're already getting answers on our attorney Ryan Pry BDST fan question of the week. A lot of people are picking Duke. I think just because you want UVA to lose. Who's going to win the ACC championship? Started in Florida. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Paul. Lakeland, Florida. Okay. What chain am I thinking of out west? I don't know. They're in the South. Okay. Ryan Pry, the attorney, Publix is based in Tampa. There we go. Okay. Thank you. Now, somebody let me know what I'm thinking of. There's a West Coast chain, too. Anyway. And joining us now on the program, and we're so glad to see his smiling face, is Brian Seigla from the Boundary Corner. And Brian, first of all, our sincere condolences to you and your family. And we've been talking about, I mentioned it last week when you weren't here. And I want to let you know how many people wanted me to tell you how we're thinking about you. So sorry about your dad. I know what you're going through, brother. So great to have you back, man. Great to have you back.
Appreciate you having me, Rick. Really appreciate the condolences there. Means a lot. It was sad to miss last week, obviously, but it was good to be there with him and to honor his memory last week. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. No problem, brother. No problem. All right. Well, let's talk about the things. And, when something like that happens, we find out really don't matter at all. But Franklin, as we had talked about, a couple weeks ago when we had you on, we figured that quickly we would see some of these guys flipping. And that seems to be happening now every day. There's a new guy who was committed to Penn State that's now coming to Blacksburg. And he's hitting the offensive line early as well, which kind of tells you what he thought. He and his assessment, the staff hasn't been announced, but he already has them, who he knows who he's bringing to Blacksburg. But they've looked at what has been one of the most troubling areas of the football team, the offensive line, and they're starting to stack up for the future.
Yeah, and if you've watched any game that Virginia Tech has played this season, it's really evident, especially from a pass pro perspective, that the offensive line was a big hole that needed to be addressed. It looks like they're doing that. You've got a lot of big 6'6" plus guys that are committing. Some of these guys are already over 300 pounds. Looks like they may be, in a position where they could contribute early, if not year one. From a physicality standpoint, we'll see if the other pieces click into place there. But it's really good to see the trenches addressed really on both sides. We had a commitment as well on the defensive side as well. So I'm interested to see what these next kind of couple days bring us from a commit standpoint. I mean, we heard, Matt Seigla may be close. A couple other guys on the defensive side may be pretty close as well. So we could end up with another, 3 to 5 guys in the next couple of days that are in that, high 3, low 4-star caliber range.
Yeah. And, and being able to not just bring in bodies, but to assess what you need is so important. And quarterback position, we kind of knew that he was going to get that flip as soon as the kid added Tech to the list.
Yep.
He's going to have to find his first quarterback, though, in the portal. And that's going to be very interesting to me, don't you think, to see how that all transpires and who that ends up being in the long run.
Yeah, I think when you look at least for year 1, probably year 2, you're looking at somebody in the portal. I imagine that there are a handful of targets that James Franklin has circled as far as who he wants to approach once that portal opens up, and he can really get into it. There's a lot of potential there. There's a quarterback down at ODU that we could look at. There's a quarterback out in Cal that might have some transfer portal potential there with the season he's had right out the gate there. So I think those are 2 probably I'd keep my eye on. I'm sure there's some others there that Coach Franklin has kind of circled as far as his short list for at least the short-term quarterback solution in Blacksburg.
Yeah, and that that's the one thing the portal's added that to me is a good thing. It's because a lot of times you'll lose your longtime starting quarterback and you think, oh, now we're starting this young kid. He has no experience. Now you can go out. So many guys are looking to get paid bigger. I mean, you can go out and find a guy fairly, I won't say easily because it's hard to find a quarterback, obviously, even when you pay for him. But you have so many more options now, don't you, to immediately prevent a huge drop-off. And to be honest, with the way Kyron Drones played 2025, anybody back there is going to be an improvement, right? I'm sorry. It's just he was terrible.
He had a very rough year. Again, between injuries and just deficiencies in general, the offensive line didn't do him any favors. But at the same time, there was a whole lot of plays that could have been made by other quarterbacks that were not made by Kyron Drones. So you kind of got to take the good with the bad on that front. But when you talk about the portal, and James Franklin addressed this during his press conference and some of the other media he's done after that, probably year 1, maybe year 2 are going to be heavier portal years than we may see during the rest of his tenure in Blacksburg, just because of the immediate holes that are going to need to be filled, whether it's due to attrition or whether it's due to the need to upgrade at certain positions, thinking, offensive line, quarterback, parts of the defense. I think, defensive line, we're probably mostly okay. There's probably going to be 1 or 2 that plug in there. But a lot of these other spots, linebacker, safety, cornerback, offensive line, quarterback, that's where we're going to need to address the most.
Brian Seigla joined us from the Boundary Corner podcast. And is tonight you guys go live?
Tonight is the night. Yeah, we're going live tonight. We are going to focus mostly on the UVA game and kind of talking through, what this coaching staff may look like as far as the rest of the staff filling out, and touch a little bit on some of the guys that we've got in the gate here. But I think we're going to save a little bit more of that for next week once we get all those. The final roster in as far as this class is concerned, unofficially after that early signing day.
Well, let's touch on Saturday. It was disappointing on so many levels. I thought for sure, we know we're going to see just a terrific effort and they're going to play hard. It was by far the worst performance of a Philip Montgomery coach team in any game against the rival, chance to spoil their whole season. And they had no fight whatsoever. What were your thoughts when you watched that game? I mean, that was dominance really from beginning to end by that UVA defense.
Yeah, they had a good game plan to slow down the run out the gate. You could see that. Even when we had some early success running the football, it was kind of chunks here and there. It wasn't any of those gashing plays that we've kind of, come to expect from the Virginia Tech ground attack. And the lack of efficiency on offense was evident right out of the gate. Obviously not helped by not having Aiden Green and Marcellus Hawkins in this game. When you look at those two guys, I mean, at their respective positions, probably the two bigger playmakers on the offense, and you don't have them for this game, that's already a blow. Kyron probably has one of his 3 or 4 worst games of his career. If not for a decent ball to Snook Peterkin that took it to the house there, probably going to be a atrocious day throwing the football yardage wise. So it was really just a bad performance across the board. Defense just felt like they could not get off the field. There were just silly mistakes all over the place, special team snafus starting the game off, and it continued the rest of the way. It was just a poor effort across the board. I'm not really sure. We're almost kind of throwing the tape itself in the trash can because I don't really want to watch that thing again. No. We're going to talk about what we recalled from the first watch, because watching that back through again would be painful.
Agreed. Well, the one thing it does, it just gives more credence to the complete reset for the James Franklin era, right? 3-9. Anything he does next year is going to be better. I mean, it's going to be nothing but positive vibes, and I think that's added to a lot of the reaction text fan about everything that Franklin's doing, because everything's been so bad for the last 7-8 years, and it gives everybody new hope, and everybody has a right to be excited, because Tech fans, you and I've talked about it, as much as they've committed to this program and stayed with them, they deserve to have this feeling now. They can just kind of, like you said, don't watch the game film. Don't watch anything anymore about 2025 and just focus on the future.
We're going to crumple it up. We're going to throw it in the trash, and we're going to start this thing new. And I think for at least this first 8 or 9 months, it should be nothing but positive vibes. And we'll see once they lace them up next year whether all of that turns into a lot better in the win-loss column for the Hokies in 2026.
Well, Brian, before I let you go, I mean, we've talked about it. Now it's official. Bob Chesney to UCLA. I mean, my guy from the Big Ten kept telling me that was going to happen. I kept saying, no, it's not. Why would he do that? And sure enough, man, he's going to be the new coach in Westwood. I hope it works out for him. Maybe he knows something that we don't. As a guy who's followed UCLA most of his life, I'm telling you, that place is a dumpster fire. Is that where you thought he would end up?
I thought he was going to be on Penn State's kind of like B tier. That was kind of what I was expecting, is that if things didn't go well with some of their A tier candidates, that he would kind of be in that B tier. But UCLA is interesting just because structurally they're probably worse off than we were before this influx.
There's no question.
Capital. No question. So, structurally they have a lot of problems. So it's going to be interesting to navigate those for him.
Yeah. Well, brother, listen, great stuff. Let everybody know again where they can find you. I know you have it on multiple platforms to see the great conversation that you guys have on the Boundary Corner.
Yeah, on Instagram, we're at Boundary Corner VT. On X Twitter, we are at Boundary Corner. And for all of the old episodes out there and all the other fun stuff we've got, it's boundarycornervt.com. So go check us out.
All right, we will do that. Everybody check them out. And hang in there, brother. We're thinking about you, man. And you got our support here on the program.
I appreciate you, Rick. Thank you very much for having me again.
Yeah, always, brother. Have fun tonight. That'll be great. It'll be great. Bye. Yep, Ryan Seigla. Good stuff. And like you said, wait until next week. More recruits will come over the next week or so. And then you have them all there, and you can kind of break down why it's good and, what it looks like going forward. Good stuff. He's good, man. Good. Seigla is they do a great job. They have a lot of fun. And those guys know what they're talking about. I mean, they're fans, but they're honest. And that's very, very cool to get that kind of honesty, as opposed to just blind rah-rah all the time. See, you're bitter. I used to have debates. People would say, well, you're not a fan. You're criticizing your team. I think, no, that makes you a better fan. You got to look at it from both sides. Am I thrilled the Broncos are 10-2? Absolutely. You go in this league and go 10-2. Do I think they're a Super Bowl team? No. I mean, defensively they are, but they got a lot of things they got to fix. I mean, you can look at it, and that doesn't mean you don't pull for your team. It just means you're looking at it honestly, like all of you have been. During the ups and downs, mostly downs. Nobody's sitting here like you hope that they're going to win because you're a fan. But anyway, side note on Publix, Morris says, I've known a lot of people that work there. Publix care for their employees. Oh, very cool. Promote from within. Many store managers started as bag boys. That's awesome. It's good to hear. Well, I'm glad we're getting one here in our community, at least down there. You might think they would move the Blacksburg area, right? At some point. I mean, you get 40,000 new citizens every school year between Tech and Radford. Right? So, Wayne, the first time you go to Publix, I'm going to come down. We're going to go shopping together. I want to share that experience with you. I'm immediately going to go to their meat section. Is it really? It's going right beside the Kroger. Ooh, that's bold. That's bold. Very, very bold. All right, so Mike Burnop's joined us at 8 as usual. I'm guessing he's already down in Columbia for the game tonight. Tech, South Carolina tonight. I think it's a 1-point spread. I think Tech will beat them. I saw South Carolina. 7 o'clock. It's on the SEC network, by the way, the ACC SEC Challenge. Hey, I'll be able to watch that tonight. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to check that out. See how they do after a rough finish in the Bahamas. We'll talk to Mike about that. Louise Baker's scheduled to join us here. I think we're giving away tickets today. Don't know really how yet, but we'll figure it out as we go. They will kill Kroger, Morris says. Yeah. Sub sandwiches. All right. I'm going to be down there, Wayne. I'll bring Selma. You bring Carol. We'll have a great time. See me pushing a cart around with Selma Hayek in Publix. Wayne, now you have to figure out somehow a way to send me a picture of me and Selma shopping in Publix. Let's see you pull that off, Mr. Photoshop boy. Thunder says, bad news announcement yesterday. Mrs. Rose in Stanton will be closing. Good home-style meals. Is it just that they just decided to close it down, or they've been struggling? I hate to see mom-and-pop local establishments closing down. Wish somebody would buy it and keep it going. I bet it just sounds like a good place. Where are you having dinner, Mrs. Rose? I bet that was good. Italian double meat. Yes, have some. Still thinking about the potential trip to Montana. Yeah. 72 years. Well, they're just time to call it. Oh, nobody take it over. That's where you wish just somebody who's got a lot of money, board, want to keep that establishment around. Well, maybe it'll bounce back. Maybe they'll have a bounce back. Maybe that'll happen. Somebody will buy it out. Hit us up on our Professional Door Incorporated text line. By the way, if you want a BDST t-shirt, $20. Oh, by the way, Ryan, I got your text. I don't have the 3Xs in yet. They have been ordered, and I'll let you know. $20 if I can get them to you locally, $30 if shipped. I don't care how many I'm shipping to you. I'm not going to charge you any more than $10. I'm not going to do that. I don't care. I'll eat the rest of it. Ready, Set, Fun. ReadySetFun.com with Bob Christ. Bob Christ 11 Let me make sure I get the email right. bobchrist11@gmail.com. They have text messages ready for you, and they want to help communities. They've helped a lot of teams and organizations raise money that they need. Find out how. ReadySetFund.com. Thanks, Bob. Thanks to Travis Williams, Professional Door Incorporated, commercial garage doors, family owned and operated for 38 years. Full staff now. Travis, great guy, and building on what his father created. It's awesome. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of this program. Thanks to Larry Ramsey. 35 years I've been their bank. The attorney, Ryan Pry. I've got 12 answers. People are saying Duke. 8 of the 12 are saying Duke are going to beat UVA. That's our fan question of the week. 701 West Main Street in Radford. If you have trust and estate planning needs, Ryan is your guy. Little River Heating and Air, 295 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. Charles Lee, nobody does it better. Him and his crew, I'm just telling you. Don't hesitate to reach out. Go see him. They're right down here on Radford Road. Big Dog Sports Talk. Presented every day by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Thank you so much to Jonathan and Tim. And wait till you meet all the folks that are helping do all the great things there. That's coming. McClellan Chiropractic Clinic, Mark Hunley, right off of Peppers Ferry Road. Now, we're going to be heading out there here this month, here soon, very, very soon, to get the back cracking videoed with Mark. Might be some foul language, but that's okay. Carroll County, Pulaski. Boys basketball. Does that start tonight? High school basketball? Thanks. Thanks for that. Thanks, Derek. And family fencing. Thanks to Jason Green, our first ever sponsor on the program, providing all the facility comfort we need in our family fencing studios here in Ryder. 540-200-8294. Go see them. Give them a call. They're great at what they do. Do it now. Don't let winter be the deterrent, because they're not. They don't care. They just don't care. Moore says, if I don't get a seat on that charter, I'm going to piss, moan, cry, and lay on the floor, scream. Nothing else will happen. Oh, you're on the charter, Morris. When we head out to Robert's place in Montana, you're on the charter. Absolutely. Thunder says, anyway, both UVA and Duke lose. Yeah, technically. See, Duke can beat UVA, and then Duke loses by not being invited to the tournament. Go get your next vehicle at Harvey's GM, by the way, in Radford. Go see Brad Harvey. Holidays are coming up. So go see him. Thanks to Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Give him a call, 540-381-8011. Thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel. Go see them in Pulaski. They're the ones who came up with the wonderful T-shirts. And thanks to the NRV Super Bowl, serving the community for over 25 years. 382-5525. Uh-oh, Wayne has sent me something on our professional door text line here. Wow, he's got me and Selma wearing matching shirts. That was her on a dress down day. And she still looks like that. Morris says 2 cocktails deep, 30,000 feet in the air, and the party starts. Prometheus, yeah. Hey, I'm all for the Dukes, man. Go in, get them in, man. Let them come in. I saw some graphic. They had like a 60-some% chance. I sent that to Travis. I don't know if that's legit. Got to win the Sun Belt title, though. And they're looking to make a statement. Now, how do those guys respond? I don't know. But you see, this is how the difference is in how well things have been done down at JMU with Chesney. So it's been known for at least 2 weeks. I've had several conversations with that athletic director who I know very well. And, you know, obviously I'm never going to betray a trust. I've been knowing where it was headed. There were some things that had to be finalized, and there were still some chances that maybe it wouldn't happen. But they've not been sitting around. He's been talking to people for a couple of weeks. They're going to have their new coach announced very soon. And I just wonder how that's been handled internally. It's going to be interesting to see how the team Now, there's probably a lot of JMU kids are excited. They're going to be invited to take that 3,000-mile trip out west, right? Exactly what Kurt Signetti did. I was told that none of those kids would go to Indiana, and sure enough, they have. You don't think kids want to go to L.A. maybe? A younger person? Now. But those kids, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. By the way, no David Smith today. He is on his way. He's got a doctor's appointment, I think, at 8 o'clock. So he is not on today. If people want to know where David is, he'll be back. We're trying to work out a time later in the week. He's going to let me know. So that's why David is not on with us now. We miss you, David, you Hall of Famer. The doctor. Can you be at the doctor and do your segment? I guarantee the doctor would be more entertained by you talking about your segment than Mike Burnop comes up here at 8 o'clock. So, yeah, we got a lot going on here on the program. A lot going on. All the schools are 2 hours late. I had a couple text messages about it. Why? I don't know, but that's the case. It's a good question. Patriots are 11-2. They have the best record. They won big again last night. Mike Vrabel is going to be the coach of the year. Are they the best team? I don't think so. Are the Broncos 10-2 the second best team? No. I thought the Rams were, and they laid an egg in Carolina. So I don't feel so bad about the Broncos' near miss. You know, the escape on Sunday night up in D.C. I don't know, Wayne. The Eagles are struggling, so right now they're not the best team. Let's see here. Who could I honestly say is the best team? I mean, obviously, people are going to say, well, New England's won 11 games, and they're really good. I guess you'd have to go New England. That is a gaudy record. Denver and New England, the only teams in the league with double-digit wins. Prometheus says Cowboys. Bears have won 9 games, but they're not impressive at all. Philly is still leading the East. It's got to be New England. Well, I know our next person chiming in, our next guest, is going to say it is the Cowboys. There she is. Yeah. What's up, Louise Baker? You old Louise Baker supporting the program. How are you, dear? Happy post-Thanksgiving.
Thank you. I have to tell you, I got a glare on my glasses. Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
We have a very clear lack of communication. Because there was nowhere in any of our communication that you said you were going to do this at 7:30 this morning. So I apologize to everybody for being late. No, you did not. After multiple requests from me, you did not.
Well, if nothing else, we get to talk to you. If nothing else, we get to see you, all right?
Well,
by the way, Log and Foster Realtors.
That's
part of my family. See, that's what happens in my family. I don't communicate, and you're part of the family. So there you go.
Well, that's true. So much for that. So I had a challenge thing here. Now I got to go back and find it.
Whoa. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go, Wayne. I like your second picture of some, but much better. Yeah. But anyway. How you been? Ready? By the way, how are you about the whole James Franklin thing? You got to be excited, right? What's the vibe with you?
You know, people ask me, and I said, I'm cautiously optimistic.
That's a great way to put it. Yes.
I mean, the hype is good. I'm happy for the hype. It's good and positive. We'll see how signing day goes tomorrow, because there's a whole lot. You know, I'm in a business where there's a whole lot of talk, but until the name's on the dotted line, doesn't mean much. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I will tell you that I really thought hard about renewing football tickets because they've just gotten so expensive.
Did they jack it up again? Did they really?
Not that I can tell. Not that I can tell. But well, I like the outdoor club, and last year that went from 2,000 a seat to 2,500 a seat. So that was jacking it up last year to sit in an outdoor club.
Yeah.
You know, but have access to the indoor facility there.
Sure.
So you know, I've renewed men's basketball. I've renewed women's basketball. I'm probably going to renew football again because I'm going to give him one more chance and see and support what they're trying to do. But I'll tell you, it's been difficult. It's been difficult.
Well, I get it. I understand. Is James Franklin called you yet to help him find his new home?
He has not. No. I expect he may be on a rental for a while just to see how this gig's going to work.
How's the market doing, by the way? Update people. You're always out. You know, there's nobody better at what they do than you. How are things?
You know, they've really been slow this fall. And I think buyers are cautious. You know, interest rates are still a little bit high. They've come down a little bit, somewhere in the 6.5% to range or so. There's not a lot of great inventory right now. The surprising thing is average sales price for Christiansburg, Virginia, is $381,000.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. And this is MLS information from October. The average sales price for Blacksburg, Virginia, is $580,000.
Oh my goodness gracious! The
so
average.
You know, that's average, yeah. So that puts a whole lot of people out of the market. That, you know, if you're going to be here 3 to 5 years, that's probably worth it to spend it. But then on the other side, the other option is to rent. And there was a really interesting program at Blacksburg Sports Club the other day that John Byer with Townside Property Management put on. The average room rate for a student right now is between $1,000 and $1,100 per bedroom in Blacksburg.
Wow. Jeez.
You know, that to me is big money.
Yeah. Why? How can there be that much of a discrepancy between two places that are like 3 miles apart? Christiansburg, that's what's wild to me. The $200,000 average difference. Wow.
It's demand. It's an interesting element of the market. There are people who must have that Blacksburg address. It's like they just don't want the Christiansburg address for whatever reason. They just need that Blacksburg address.
Yeah, Virginia Tech. Yeah, Prometheus is probably right too. That's the biggest thing. Well, you and I
it's not that much of a difference to drive.
Yeah.
But we are finding, though, that's one of the things that's driven up the sales price in Christiansburg. So it's because it is so much closer. It's interesting now how much Pulaski and Pembroke and Giles markets have jacked because people are willing to travel a little bit more if they can get something better in their price range. So it's an interesting time.
It is an interesting time. Well, if anybody needs any help, you got to call Louise Baker, Long and Foster Realtors.
Call me.
Here you go. Look, we're going to put your little banner up there now, too. We will with Mike, too. 320-382. And I say this sincerely. Louise, people say I just, no, I mean it. She is part of our family. Louise helped us out through a very tough time when my mom passed. And we didn't have a clue what the heck to do. And she guided us through it, all the ups and downs. And couldn't have made it without you. Just saying it. I mean, seriously. Seriously. And I know how much you care about all your customers. So.
Well, I'm glad we were able to pull it together for you because we hit a rough patch a time or two.
We did.
No fault of our own.
No.
You know, you make the best decisions you can with the information you have, and sometimes it doesn't work. So we do the best we can.
You did. You learned. You taught me a whole lot about the whole industry. I had no idea. I'm still learning. It's kind of cool. So anyway. And you, speaking of Miss Community Louise Baker, Longa Foster, she's always giving back to the community here on this program in particular. And you're once again being awesome with your tickets. You've got tickets to give away.
I do. I think it's an interesting time for the girls basketball. And I did a little bit of research. Thursday night, 2 days from now, is the SEC ACC Challenge, basketball. The men's is tonight because they go to South Carolina. The women's is Thursday night, and they're in Blacksburg. And so I was doing a little bit of research for our question for your listeners. I have 4-pack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I've got 4. It's a family 4-pack for the game Thursday night.
Oh, wow. Florida. Ooh,
yeah,
that's big.
Against Florida. The tip-off is 5:00. So you'll have to factor that in trying to decide if this is good for you. I can print them, and you can certainly pick them up at my Blacksburg office, or I can send them electronically.
Okay.
I have the tickets on the phone. So if you have an Apple or you have Google, Apple Wallet, Google, I'm not sure what they use, but we can send them electronically. So
and that's a 5 o'clock game, by the way. 5 o'clock. That's weird. 5 o'clock game.
Yeah, on Thursday at Castle.
Yeah.
All right. So a little bit of background. The SEC, Southeast Conference, and the ACC, Atlantic Coast. Actually, this challenge didn't come about until 2023. So it's relatively recent. Before that, they had ACC Big 10,
right,
and then the Big 12. And so they changed all of that.
This one's much better. This one's much better.
Yeah.
I like this one better.
So this format in 2023 is the first time. So it was interesting. And this is strictly on the women's side.
Yes.
The very first game in 2023, it was a tie, 7-7 between ACC and SEC.
Split right down the middle.
Yeah, right down the middle. Then in 24, the SEC had more wins. They had 14 wins out of the games that they played. So they stepped it up some. So let me go back here and see what my question was based on. Okay. Yep. And this was in 24. And this included all the ones that came in new to the ACC. It included the Mustangs, the Cardinals, all that. So of all of the ACC teams that played on the women's side, there are only 2 teams that won 2 games. They played 2 games each. And so there's only 2 teams that won. So if you can tell us what those 2 teams were, and one of them was not Virginia Tech. So the challenge is greater to you to figure out the 2 ACC teams that each won 2 games in 2024.
Oh, wow.
So how did we do it the last time? Was it a text? Did they answer on the text?
I think we did both. If somebody wants to send it via text, or they can type it here if they want, and we'll tell them how to get a hold of you. They can text me later to get your information, so I'm not putting that up publicly on the.
Yeah, that would be good.
But then again, your phone number's already on.
I know.
I guess it's okay. So ask the question one more time so peeps will know.
All right. 2024, at the end of the conference for the ACC, there were only 2 women's teams that won both games. They each played 2 games. Virginia Tech split it. We won 1, we lost 1. But there were 2 teams in the ACC women's that won both of their games. So tell me who they were.
And both of their games against
SEC challengers.
SEC challenge. Okay. So 2 teams swept, and that was it. So 2 teams swept over the last couple of years. Okay. That's a good question. So what do you got? Okay. So Paul is saying UNC and Duke is his guess.
No. Almost there, but not right.
Oh, you're close, Paul. You can keep guessing.
Fast.
And she won't reveal which one's right and which one's wrong yet.
That's right.
Good guess, though. So in other words, I'm guessing, just by your answer, that it is halfway correct. See there? See how smart I am? Hit us up here on the chat room to get those tickets for Thursday. That's a big game. Florida's 8-1. You get out of there early. That's cool, right? You get over there after work, leave work early, check out the ladies. That's cool.
And I think it's a big deal for Blacksburg, to have a team like Florida women coming in, particularly when it's rainy and snowy outside. That might help.
Okay, so you just sent me the answer, and I didn't know that. Wow. So, Paul, you're wrong on both fronts. But you're right. I see what you're saying, why it's close, at least half of them. So which 2 teams won their 2 games against the SEC the last couple of years in the SEC Women's Challenge?
Why don't we tell Paul which one he won, and then they can figure out the second one.
Well, according to you, he didn't get either one of them right.
Oh,
right?
what did he say? What did he say?
He said UNC and Duke.
Oh, sorry. I heard Duke. I didn't hear.
No,
You're right. He's wrong. He's wrong on both of them. I'm
he's
sorry.
wrong on
Paul.
both of them. He's wrong on both of them. Just think about the strong women's programs, the big games that Tech had during the Final Four year in the ACC. Both of them actually were huge contests. I think both were nationally televised, weren't they? In Kitley's final year.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Pretty sure. I think both were big crowds and nationally televised games.
I'll give you a little bit. Yeah, I'll give you a little hint. One of them was where Megan Duffy played her college school.
Okay, so one of them's where Megan Duffy played.
Right.
I know that one. And the other one might be in the same state as Paul's other two guests.
Other two, yeah. Yeah. He's in the right area. What do they say? It's the right church, wrong pew.
Right church, wrong pew.
So he's in the same. He's in the right state, but.
All right, Bobby on the text line got half of it right. Tina got half of it right. And, we have a winner.
Yay.
David Mabry, North Carolina State and Notre Dame.
That's right.
All right, David, you got it. Well, Louise, let them know what they want again for Thursday. That's cool.
4-pack women's tickets to the ACC SEC Basketball Challenge women's game, Castle Coliseum, Thursday, December 4th. Tip-off is at 5:00.
And that's perfect. I know David's a big supporter of women's sports, so
good.
That'll be great.
Oh, good.
Yeah, awesome. David, you got him. And you can see Louise's number right there. I won't give you her personal home address, but there you go. You can hit her up, 540-320-382. And or you can hit me up with your contact, and I will send it to Louise as well. So there
That's right.
go.
I can print them, and you can pick them up. I can send them to you electronically. Let me know what's best.
That's awesome. I love the fact that it's at 5. I like early games like that. You can get done. Yeah. So David, you got them. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are there. 4 of them too. And it's all about this woman here, Louise Baker, who cares as much about the community as anybody that I know. I'm serious. Like you do. I mean, it's sincere, it's genuine, and it's awesome. It's awesome.
And I've got more coming. I got men's for UVA the end of December. So we'll give those away. And then a couple in January and February for women. So there's more coming. So listen to Rick and we'll do better to communicate. And
sounds like
time. So I'm sorry, guys.
Sounds like some of the stuff that used to happen when we were trying to get the house sold.
Yeah, a little bit. Hey, where are you? I need to talk to you.
I'll never forget the one call. So, are you sitting down? I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But we rose above it. We
did.
Well, thank you as always. And for everything you do. And we'll be talking more about you here as Mr. Burnop joins us in just a moment.
Yeah. So, tell Mike I said hey.
I will do it. Thank you so much, Louise. And we'll get more tickets coming up. We'll make sure we have a better time construction together. But hey, that worked out great. We got to talk about a lot of cool stuff. So
yeah,
great.
There you go. That works.
Yeah,
it works.
It did work. Stay safe. It's raining out there. Be safe if you're out there today.
Yeah, I can see it out my front driveway. I don't think it's bad.
No.
But it's cold.
It's cold.
Temperature's 36, so it's hovering around.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to warm up during the day, so that'll be good.
Bad stuff weather. Yeah. So David, you can hit me up and I can get you Louise's info. Either way, we'll hook you up. You can hit me up, message me with your phone, and I'll send it to Louise and vice versa.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Thank you so much, dear. Have a great day.
Be safe, guys.
All right. Be good. Thanks, Louise. There you go.
Bye.
Louise Baker, ladies and gentlemen. How great was that? It was great. Congratulations, David. And thanks, everybody who sent your answers via the text line. And now I got to send Burnop his invite here. I'm a little slower today. That was great. Always great talking to Louise. Boom. Okay, there we go. It is raining pretty steadily. Again, I don't see any ice. It's a cold rain. Schools are 2 hours late. All right, TLB, this is good stuff. I love it from our listeners. Mary Draper Ingalls finished her long way home journey in Giles. People have been talking about how beautiful Giles is beautiful. We had farm area out in Giles, over in Eggleston, entering at Glen Lynn, being discovered by two men in a field after climbing the cliffs at Palisades. Really? That's cool. I did not know that. Good stuff. What's up, Randy? Lou Sassel. No, I don't remember Lou Sassel. So, David, just message me and I'll get you connected with the Louise and y'all can get together before Thursday. Florida at 8-1. Pretty cool. So, yeah. Be sure to check out the Boundary Corner podcast tonight. Great to see Brian. Sherry says ice on her car. Okay, and trees when she left. So some of the other surfaces are freezing up. Thank you, Sherry. That's good to get information because, we can't tell what else is happening. Here it's just a cold rain like Louise just talked about. Very, very cool. Well, be safe, Sherry. Be safe. That was my test this morning, actually, was the ice on the vehicle. Because usually that's pretty easy. If you feel ice, that it's, But it didn't happen here. It must have colder temperature pockets. Adam Harmon, Southwest Virginia, says one of his ancestors was one of the ones that made that journey into Giles. Very cool, guys. Awesome. It's always very cool when we're joined by our next guest. And there he is, Mike Burnop, joining us on the program. Mike, be on the call for the Hokies and the Gamecocks. What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm doing okay, Rick. How about you? I heard it's snowing up there.
Yeah, we got rain. Well, not here, but apparently there's ice in certain areas. We got some, it's cold, but we've just got rain here in Reiner. I think there's like a light ice glazing. All the schools are delayed. So.
Are they? Yeah, it's raining here too. It's kind of yucky outside and probably a little bit warmer, though, than it is up there.
Well, before we get into the ACC SEC Challenge, disappointment on Saturday for me, Mike. I'm not just even talking about the result. I thought that was by far Tech's poorest game they'd played under Coach Montgomery. Some of your thoughts, the UVA Tech aftermath and how that game unfolded.
When they had the ball and they had that drive, the opening drive was kind of promising. I don't know what was up with that kickoff that they kind of botched that and ended up way down back at the whatever it was, the 10-yard line. But then they kind of dug their way out of that hole, and Kyron moved the ball down the field. Then he gets that tip pass and interception, and UVA scores. And then the next series, you go down, you miss a field goal. And it's like all of a sudden the wind is out of the sail, right? You got nothing because they could not get a first down from then on. I mean, it was kind of sad, embarrassing, and one of those things. They just couldn't generate any offense. Never see anything like it. And so give UVA credit. There was going to be a tough match anyway, but they made the plays. The Hokies didn't. The defense was on the field way too long. And, the field position was a disaster, fighting that all night long, it seemed like. Yeah. And just couldn't get going for whatever reason. And, one of those things. Couldn't force any turnovers. The Hokies lose the turnover battle again. They only forced 6 turnovers the whole year, Rick. And that's just not enough. You got to score more than 7 points if you're going to beat a team like UVA. So, yeah, one of those things that's over with, and let them enjoy their victory in the Commonwealth Cup because I think things will be a lot different next year. I mean, let me tell you, I'll say this too. How in the world does a team get 56 seniors? I mean, you think about the payroll they had. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, you might have 20, 25, 30, 56 seniors.
Was that just guys that just hung out and just played just stayed on there the whole time that they were there, I guess? Plus with who they added from the portal, right? I guess it adds up pretty quickly.
Well, you can't only have but so many on your roster, right?
So, that's strange. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a whole bunch. And they had the money. They spent it. They got great players, and, they got the job done. So, and, you think all the opt-outs and, the defense takes a lot of criticism and whatnot, but they were on the field way too long. At one point, I think the Hokies had 39 snaps and UVA had 59 at one point. So the defense kind of got worn down, but you think all the opt-outs on the defense, guys that just left and, you get a pass breakup against NC State. It gets, and you win that game on 4th down. And then what happens? That player that breaks up the pass is gone the next day. I mean, like, you can't make it up. Like,
That's true.
What's
That's
happened
great.
to this team this year?
That's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, so many guys just opted out or went to the portal or decided to redshirt, and the numbers were down. And give those young kids credit. They battled and they tried and did their best they could, and it was a learning experience, and they'll be better for it. But it was a tough one for sure.
Mike Burnop joining us here on the program from Columbia. His appearance brought to you by Louise Baker. We just spoke to Louise Baker, Team Long and Foster Realtors, 540-320-0382. And, it kind of feels similar than when they walked off the field Saturday than it felt back when they walked off the field when they played Maryland in that bowl game, right? When you knew the new coaching staff had been, or a new coach had been hired, and so much excitement. It kind of feels similarly, right? And that coach's boss is now the new head coach coming in, already making recruiting noise with some of the Penn State guys. I mean, kind of feels the same, doesn't it? That same, like, okay, good, I'm glad that's over. Now it's time to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit similar to that, although, when you go to that Maryland game, so many guys opted out and didn't even play in the game. I mean, you're down to your like 3rd, 4th quarterback. I mean, that was a sad operation.
Yeah.
But one of those things. And, James Franklin's got some tape to evaluate, and we'll see what happens. But I do know he's done a great job recruiting in these couple of weeks, and signing day is tomorrow. So we'll see how that pans out. But they got a lot of areas to get better in and get better quick. And, the other thing that was disappointing to me in terms of for Virginia, how do you not sell that game off with everything they got playing for? They don't sell it out. To me, that was kind of disappointing and crazy for them. I mean, they announced the crowd at 55 or something. There's no way there were that many people there. The hill was half full. The upper bleachers were very spotty.
Wow.
And that was kind of crazy too, that they couldn't, for everything they had to play for, they couldn't sell it out.
It makes no sense. And they did that. That happened when Florida State, they had the nationally televised game, right? I mean, people were like, wow, this is not the atmosphere that they wanted or they thought was going to happen. And it's very strange, isn't it, that they can't even get people. And that's a smaller stadium, right? So.
Yeah. And then, now you got to play Duke again. I mean, the whole ACC is so screwed up that something like that can happen. If Duke wins this game, I mean, you're not going to get a key team in the playoff possibly. I mean, like it's nuts. You got to change that system. UVA didn't play the 2, 3, 4, and 5 best teams in the league, and here they are sitting there going to the playoff. I mean, I'm sure that was a great sell of tickets, right, for Charlotte.
Well, this is true too. This is true.
I mean, Duke can't sell out a home game, much less going to Charlotte. Now, come on.
Boy, how much would that set the league back? I think that's what's going to happen. If Duke wins that game, the ACC won't be represented, probably, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe Miami gets. I don't know what's going to happen.
They're going to have to change the rules. I mean, that whole system with the tiebreakers and all that crap is going to have to get changed because you just can't do that. I mean, you got to have a higher ranked team, or at least a ranked team, to be able to get into the playoff game or something. I mean, it's just not a pretty picture. The whole landscape of college football is just kind of messed up.
Oh, it really is.
It's sad to see. It's the people that got the money get the best players, and I mean, it's just crazy.
And then ESPN rose to a new low. This whole Lane Kiffin coverage, and it's been nauseating, almost laughable. They spent all that time on one guy who's not even that whole story and the whole thing around all that, it just shows you this thing's kind of become like wrestling. It's kind of become like the WWE, just in terms of its marketing and that was weird. That was weird what they did this weekend. The whole thing with Kiffin was weird. But then again, they're in bed with that league so much, it makes perfect sense as well. So.
Well, that'd be a good conversation to have with Marty Smith one time, right?
Yeah. I felt bad for him. I felt bad for him, man, being stuck in that. That had to be terrible. I mean,
yeah. I know, what a mess, hot mess. But I bet JMU, their coach going to UCLA, that's a pretty good gig.
Blows me away, though. I'm glad for him. I know that's been in the works for a couple of weeks, but I mean, that's a place that's not been serious about big time football. Even when they joined the Big Ten, he must have been given some kind of. They have a big NIL budget. They did announce that from donors, but man, oh man, that's going to be a huge renovation project out there for him, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah, it will. You mentioned that it had been in the works for a couple of weeks. I mean, just think of all the announcements that got made Sunday, right? I mean, that stuff just didn't happen overnight.
Nope. No.
That stuff was in the works, and it's all the more important for like Virginia Tech to nail Franklin down, right? Get him in the house, signed, sealed, and delivered. So just look at the progress he's made in the 2 weeks that he's been here, and the recruits that he has flipped, and the recruits they had on campus, and who knows what's going to happen when the portal opens. I mean, we can get more of them. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of fun to watch this thing develop.
Yeah, it is. Mike Burnop joining us on the program from Columbia. His appearance brought to you by the Louise Baker team, Long and Foster. She gave away more tickets today. That just shows you we talk about Louise being community-oriented, Mike, and helping give it back to the community like she did today, man. That's who she is.
That's awesome. That's great. Love Louise and everything she's done. She's been a great Hokie for so many years. Yeah, just appreciate all that she does, and hope I'll see her some basketball game here coming up. It's almost impossible at a football game to see her, but basketball a little bit more accessible down there on courtside.
Well, let's segue right into that, Mike, the basketball team. First of all, I kept thinking about your travel. As I was watching the Colorado State game, I'm like, all right, so Mike said this is the game they got to win, or he's in trouble travel-wise. Sure enough, they pulled it out. So were you able to get out okay? I know you were at the game Saturday, but how did all that go? I like to hear how your exit plans went from your previous stop getting to the next one.
Well, you can't make it up, number one.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
So the one day we got a couple hours after the game because we played at 10:30 in the morning on a Friday. We had a chance to get a little downtime out on the beach or whatever. Well, it was windy and cloudy, so you couldn't get any sun. So then we pack up and we decide to go. So we we go out front with our luggage and say, the guys there, hey, do you want a cab? Do you want a limo? What do you want to do here? So Zach says, how much is this? How much is that? So we took, to make a long story short, we take a taxi. Well, this dude was driving on the wrong side of the road, right? That's how they do there. And the steering wheel's on the wrong side of the car. I mean, he's going through these back roads at like 30 miles an hour. And Zach said he almost got sick sitting in the back seat. So we get to the airport and we find out our flight's delayed. All right. So we sit there for an hour and a half trying to leave the Bahamas. Got through customs and everything easy. And we leave at like an hour and a half late to go to Richmond. And so we get to Richmond and the connection's like 15 minutes. And so we're supposed to land in Miami at gate like 51. And it was a 20-minute walk to get to the next gate. Well, that wasn't going to happen. We'd never make it. So when we get there, they decided they're going to land at dock at gate 8, I think it was. And the flight was going to take out from gate 4. So we kind of got lucky. So we got off there and go to the gate, get on the plane. I think we were the last 2 to get on the plane. So we get to Richmond, and then we get a notice on our phone, your bags didn't make it.
Oh.
So we sit there and wait for the bag lady to come around. She says, I'll be right back. Well, like 40 minutes later, she comes back and she says, well, what we'll do is we'll just have to send them on the next flight. Well, okay. Well, what's the next flight? Well, it gets in to Richmond at 4:00 tomorrow afternoon. And we at the game. We're on the air at 5, right?
Yeah, right.
So I said, that's not going to work, sweetheart. She said, that's all we can do. We only put it on direct flights. And I said, well, why can't you put it on a flight that gets in at 10:30 in the morning, a connector? She says, well, they don't do that. Call this 800 number. She wasn't real helpful. And it was 1:00 in the morning, right? She's ready to go home.
Sure.
So then we call the 800 number and they said, well, that's the best we can do. Get it to your hotel at 4:00 and shuttle it on down from Richmond. We'll shuttle it back to the hotel. So I said, okay, well, that's what we got to do. So that's what happened. We got back and the bags were there. So they called Zach in the middle of we're on the pregame show, and they call Zach and say, hey, we're going to ship your baggage FedEx. It'll be to your house on Monday. No, that ain't working, honey. So finally they got somebody to drive it to Charlottesville. And then when we got back to the hotel at midnight, the luggage was there. So it didn't really help us much for the game, but fortunately we had packed a bag with warmer clothes in it because we didn't want to take it on the whole trip. So Mike Kelly bought that. Yeah, unreal.
Well, at least now you're done with all that in terms of having to go from basketball to football for a while. So at least now you've just got basketball. Is Mike Burnop here joining us, courtesy of Louise Baker. Wow, unbelievable. Now, what would have happened? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say this is the last road trip we got until after January. The rest of our games for the month of December are at home. So that's going to be kind of nice.
Yeah, you can kind of take a deep breath and recover. Now, what would have happened if Colorado State had pulled that first game out?
We were going to have to fly out Friday morning, go to the hotel, and call the game off a monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going to fly up to D.C. and come back down and call it off a monitor at the hotel, the team hotel at the Omni.
The old COVID broadcast. Yeah. Wow.
And we barely won that game by 2, you know.
I know. They missed the 3 at the end.
Oh, my gosh. I thought that was going in. I thought, oh, boy, here we go. What else can happen?
Well, let's talk about this team now. Lessons learned. Back-to-back tough losses. Of course, Lawal's been out. First of all, how's he looking for the South Carolina game tonight? That's a game, you know, heck, we played them. We played South Carolina down there. They're okay. They have a totally new team from a year ago. But what do you think about the game tonight?
You know, I don't know. You know, you look at them. First of all, I don't know about Toby. I guess we'll find out a shoot around because we didn't get back home till Sunday afternoon. And, you know, we haven't seen basketball much except last night. He looked fine last night, just looking at him. And he was supposed to be able to go. So I think he'll be okay. That's a big loss when you only you don't have your better rebounder and it's averaging a double-double. So that's definitely a loss. Not to say that we would have beat those other 2 teams. They were pretty good. St. Mary's is good. Yeah. VCU's good. But we'll see. You know, you look at the common opponent, the Hokies beat Charleston Southern 98-60 something, and South Carolina just beat them by 12. So not that matters much or tells you anything because the first half was pretty close. But, you know, I think the Hokies match up pretty well against them. I mean, they don't have a lot of big guys. South Carolina doesn't, and they don't rebound great. But we'll have to wait and see. They don't turn it over much, but the Hokies are going to have to play well. They had a promotion. I did read that in their notes. They got a promotion tonight. You can get a ticket for 67 cents. It was the 6-7 promo. So you can get a ticket in the upper decks or something for that because the seat's 18,000.
Yeah.
And you get a ticket for 67 cents. So we'll see how many people come up and show up for the game and go from there.
Well, maybe because it was Radford, but I'm telling you, it may have been a quarter full because you have to sit up in the stands. Radio's up in the corner. Have you seen it yet?
No, we haven't been to the arena yet, so we'll go there this morning.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
We've had some great ones.
Yeah, they got you sitting right beside home radio. He's not happy.
Well, at least they're both up there. It's better than having the home radio on the court side and we're up in the stands.
You'll be on the left. You'll have the engineer between you, and then they'll be on the right. And you're going to be up in the corner about half up. Man, it's a tough angle. It's a tough angle, especially the basket that's facing you. You just got to watch the trajectory of the ball in the bottom of the net because you lose it when the shot clock hides the ball. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, 18,000 seats, and they can't give up 4 better ones than that.
Exactly. They sold. Well, I got the whole thing. They sold 15 more court sides, right? So they eliminated about half of that press row. There's only like the TV people down there on that side. Yeah. Now.
Well, you think that they could make something up somewhere?
Correct. Put you in the middle so you could at least see everything.
Yeah. Well, we've had worse views. We went to Baltimore and played Penn State last year up in that one game deal and I mean, you're talking about the worst view ever. We were up on the way up high in the concourse, and we were so far behind the basket, probably 50 yards behind the basket, trying to look down to the court. That was the worst ever.
Why do they think that's acceptable? I don't understand.
They don't care.
They don't care. They don't care. They only care about what they're able to spend TV-wise, right? And what kind of money they Well, we'll see how it goes. And it'll be interesting to see. Mike Young, I know, had to be disappointed because he felt these games, he told us here on the show, Mike, he's not looking at this as just trying to get better. He knows he has to get wins now to help later. And you're right. The competition's been great. That's only going to help them, though, don't you think, as they try to finish up the 2025 part of the schedule heading on a strong note heading into conference play.
Yeah, I mean, they should be favored the rest of these games. I mean, until you get to the UVA game on New Year's Eve, right? And who knows what it'll be by then. But, yeah, they need to win the rest of these games for sure. These 2 losses were tough ones, but you didn't have one of your better players. And the teams that you played are going to be probably NCAA teams. I mean, VCU got picked to win the A-10. I think St. Mary's got picked to win their league as well. So that was a good matchup. Both those teams are good, and they've been around for a long time. They constantly go to the NCAA tournament, and I think Martelli's going to do a nice job at VCU, taking over for Ron Odom.
Oh, he will. He will do a good job. He'll do a good job there. He will. So we expect, maybe you think this week, Mike, because a lot of people are hitting me up on the text line. Can you ask Mike about when James Franklin will start naming staff members and things like that?
I think today probably he's finishing up the recruiting, and tomorrow, once they get those guys signed and sealed, that I think the focus will turn to the staff, and I think he'll interview the guys that are on the staff now and see if some of those may be potential guys that will stay. And then, he'll be on to his staff for sure. And, Penn State season's not over, so who knows what's going to happen with those guys. But, I think this week and moving forward, he's going to be heavy into that, and he'll get a good staff. I have no doubts about that. Just the way he recruits players, you can think he can get a good staff too.
Well, and that's good news to hear that potentially there's going to be some guys, from this staff that are going to be maybe retained. And I know a lot of people have been asking about that. So that's a good thing. Hopefully that will happen, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, you just never know. I mean, all these coaches have their own people, they've been working with them for years and years. They feel comfortable around them. And, it just depends on what they're looking for. Do you want to keep somebody that was tied to the program that, wasn't doing very well the last few years or what? It just it's all up to the coach. So, and how comfortable they are. They want the best guys around them.
Wayne's asking, is there any kind of like a signing event tomorrow? Are they doing anything special, like a show?
It'll be on Hokie Sports. Yeah, they start at 7 a.m., 7 to 11, I think it is, and they'll be doing that and having that a live interaction and talking to the players. Yes, they will be doing that.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, thanks for joining us from Columbia. At least you got a day in warmer weather down in Columbia, even though it's rainy. But
it's not that much warmer either. But,
yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, but it is warmer than Blacksburg for sure.
And you'll eat well. There's a lot of great places right around there. So a lot of great places.
Yeah, that'd be good. Looking forward to the game, and hope I get to see Shane Beamer. Texted him yesterday. I said he might be able to come around. He's got player meetings today, he said, from 8 to 3. But I don't know if I get the chance to catch up with him or not.
Yeah. It's a lot going, a lot of smoke around him too right now. He's got to have a big 2026. There's no question.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, Mike, thanks a lot. And thanks to Louise Baker. I know how much you think of Louise, and thanks for joining us on the road. And I'm sorry to hear about all your travel woes. I'm glad that's over.
I'm glad it's over too. And I didn't see anything missing from the bag. So I think we're in good shape.
Hey.
We don't have to travel again until January. So that's awesome.
That's right. All right, man. You'll be on the call. Pregame at 6:30. You guys. What time you guys start tonight?
6:30 pregame, on the air at 7, and that'll be good because that's crazy too. When you go to these tournaments, Rick, you never know if you're not the first game, you're not going to start on time. And we had 1 hour pregame shows. At least one was, I think, an hour and 15 minutes. Because if you're the third game, I mean, everything is backed up. And so, we've had some extended pre-games down there, except for the last game, which we were the first game. Yeah. So it actually got started on time, but that's the way those things are too. And, it's tough playing 3 games in a row this early in the season because you don't even do that in tournament time.
No.
Most teams, you don't play 3 in a row unless you're winning.
Right.
And so this is that was a tough matchup for them, and I think they learned a lot from it, and they'll be better for it. But they clearly got to play better, defend better, and rebound better.
No question. Well, we'll see how it unfolds tonight. Should be a good game. I think Tech will be good tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, hope so.
Yeah, feels like it.
All right, man. Let's play again.
Tomorrow night, Southern Miss. Yeah,
Southern Miss. Okay.
Golden Eagles coming in to Deadman.
Awesome.
Night. It's just tough to get and you know how it is. It's tough to get a vibe on any of these teams because everybody's roster is brand new.
That's nuts. I know. Yeah, that's the way it is.
That's the way it is. All right, man. Well, safe travels. Have a great call tonight.
All right, Rick. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, bro. Take care.
All right, see ya.
Mike Burnop joining us on the program. Good stuff from Mike. His appearance brought to you by Louise Baker, the Louise Baker team, Long and Foster Realtors. Thanks to Louise. A lot of extended time for Louise today, and we've connected her with David. So there you go. Thanks, Louise, and thanks, David. So there you go, Wayne. They are doing a signing event online tomorrow for all the guys. And you expect to hear some more names today, right? That will come your way. Good stuff today. Good stuff today. Love the history. TLB's got it down. He and Wayne are talking about all the things going on in Giles. Native Americans already living in Giles County. European settlers first discovered the New River where the I-81 bridge crosses at exit 105. This is awesome. Yeah, that area, Giles County, it's stunning. It is. Like I said, we had a farm. I grew up. We had the farm at the house, but we had other land over in Eggleston, and we had another farm. Heavily wooded. We kept a lot of the cattle over there. A lot of fence fixing during those times, and driving through that area. And TLB, you might remember the family. We lived beside our land. We didn't ever live on that land. Luke Johnson was our neighbor over there in Eggleston. Great people, he and his family. Steve Chafin would come over and help us out on the farm, and we'd help him out. Good stuff. Oh, that's cool, Prometheus. So Prometheus played football with Greg Burnop back in '98. Sweet. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Wayne's history was Patrick Swayze. By the way, there are few movies that I hate more than Dirty Dancing. I know. Has nothing to do where it was filmed. Ugh. Terrible movie. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Giles and Nars, without a doubt. It's a beautiful area. We're very blessed to live where we live throughout the New River Valley. This part of it with the mountain. We live in a beautiful area. We really do. That's why when we had Robert early, I think he's checked out now. But Robert, you're welcome anytime. There you go. TLB hates Dirty Dancing. Thank you. Oh, thank you. It's a terrible movie. Nobody wants watch Dirty Dancing. I don't know. Let me look, Prometheus. I have not looked. The ACC title game point spread. UVA by 3.5. So, okay. We shall see how that goes. 3.5. Could go either way. UVA beat them 34-17. Is that right, during the regular season? I think that's what the score was. Paul says, why? I had the time of my life, and I've never felt like this before. There's just so much high cheese in that movie. Oh, my Lord. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Baby? Baby needs to stay in the corner. I've had the time of my life. Oh! There was a Family Guy where they did a parody of that with Chris and Mr. Herbert during one of the Star Wars episodes. God, so funny. So funny. Wayne says, come on, Rick. It was our prom song. Was it really? It was your prom song? Don't put baby at a quarter. Ugh. Baby? Who you dating? Baby. And wasn't he like 15 years older? Wasn't that kind of like a Belichick Jordan relationship between Swayze and Baby? The hell kind of a name is Baby? And why would you want to draw more attention that you're dating someone extremely younger than you are? Red Dawn was the best Patrick Swayze movie. Watermelon instead of strawberries. Wait a minute. Was he in I don't think I like any Patrick Swayze movie. Let's see. Hang on. Was he in The Outsiders? No, I don't want it to be shopping. I want trying to look something up here before we head out. Thanks, by the way, everybody who. No, I don't want. Thank you. The Outsiders cast. Yeah, he was in The Outsiders. Now, that's a good movie. Matt Dillon, Ralph Macchio, C. Thomas Howell, Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, Tom Cruise, Emilio Estevez, Diane Lane. Hey. There we go. The Outsiders. I liked him in The Outsiders. That was a good movie. I didn't really like Roadhouse either. Roadhouse. Sam Elliott made Roadhouse good for me. Didn't he get killed? Did Sam Elliott die in Roadhouse? Do I remember that right? Anyway, thanks. Thanks to Marva, Brian Seigla, Louise Baker, and Mike Burnop today. Tomorrow is the Wednesday edition. Oh, yeah, he was in Point Break. You're right. Forgot about Point Break. So he did die in Roadhouse? Okay. He was good on SNL with Chris Farley. Yeah, he was. That sketch is one for the deck for the eons. The Chippendale sketch. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, everybody. Be safe. It's raining. And you know how might be some slick spots on the road. So if everybody is safe, thank you so much for helping make today awesome. And we'll see you tomorrow. Tech tonight, 7 o'clock, South Carolina. Check it out on the SEC Network. And enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Expect more. No, I don't love ghosts. Expect more recruiting news from James Franklin and Tech as the day goes on today. Feed my Boa Creed. I will. Yeah. He's not around now. I'm sure he's dried off and he's sacked out somewhere. All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Remember, please like, subscribe, and share our channel content. Trying to make it to 1,000 here. And hit me up if you want a BDST t-shirt. $20 if I can get them to you locally. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.